Hare Krishna. Nityananda Trayodaśī Mahamahotsav ki jai. Now, his guest Sundar Gopal Prabhu will try to explain the purport that has been given by A.C. His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada on the song Nitai Padakamala. Before that, we'll go with Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajñenāpi Jnananjana Chakshurme Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyan Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Shri Guru Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakana Ratnādānvitam Tam Sajivam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakānvitam Sya He Krishna Karna Sindho Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta 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 Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gauramki Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanam Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vatsa Kalpa Talubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhe Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauravanta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, this is the purport about Nitai Padakamala song. I'll start the reading and Prabhu will explain it. Purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This is a very nice song sung by Narottam Das Thakur. He advises that Nitai Pada, the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, Kamala means lotus and Pada means feet, are a shelter where one will get the soothing moonlight not only of one but of millions of moons. We can just imagine the aggregate total value of the soothing shine of millions of moons. In this material world, Jagat, which is progressing toward hell, there is always a blazing fire, and everyone is struggling hard without finding peace. Therefore, if the world wants to have real peace, it should take shelter under the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, which are cooling like the shining of a million moons. Juraya means relief. If one actually wants relief from the struggle of existence and actually wants to extinguish the blazing fire of material pangs, Narottam Das Thakur advises, please take shelter of Lord Nityananda.
So, of course, everybody here, everybody knows who Lord Nityananda is? I'm sure. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu is actually the expansion of Balaram. Balaram Hoilo Nitai. Right?
Yes.
So who is Balaram? Balaram is the brother of Krishna. So he, Balaram, takes care of everything of Krishna. Anything that Krishna needs, everything Balaram needs. He becomes his bed, he becomes his, the Ananta says. He becomes sleepers, shoes, everything. So Balaram is the expansion of the Lord. So when Lord came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, about more than 500 years ago. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you can see there, is on the left, standing like this. He accompanied the Lord as Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Okay? And here it's explained that taking shelter of him, of his lotus feet, will help us. It's like soothing us, similar to millions of moons. Now, why we have to be soothed? What's wrong with us? There's so many icons, so many things. Any problem? Right? What is that comparison? Because in this material world, Krishna explained, it is full of misery. Right? What kind of miseries? What kind of miseries? And miseries from the three sorts: Adi, Atmic, Adi, Bhautik, and Adi. So these miseries are created by our mind, created by other people's mind, and created by the demigod. So these are giving us a lot of, what we say, mental, bodily, and also catastrophe. All these are giving so much pain. There is no, and actually this pain is it is actually burning. I'll show you some words on that. Can you go? 11:11, 48. Purport. Yeah. Can you read? I think you read.
Yeah. My dear Lord, for one who is being cruelly burnt in the blazing fire of material miseries, having fallen into the network of material existence, I do not see any possible shelter besides your two lotus feet, which are a shower of nectar extinguishing the fire of
That
suffering.
we are put into extreme torture. There is no such thing as we are having a fun time. So this material world is blazing fire, misery. You can see there the word cruelly burn. Understand? And not only that, can you go some more?
Having fallen.
Go down. Yeah.
Samsara.
You read?
Material existence is like an ocean that is extremely difficult to cross. The conditioned souls have fallen into this ocean, which is not cool, but rather burns them with the fire of misery. For one who has fallen into this sea and desires to get out, there is no rescue boat except the constant relishing within oneself of the past tense narrations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Is that? So for one who does not know, even is burned, like you know how they cook the crab. You know how they cook the crab? They don't put hot water. They put the crab inside and then they slowly increase the temperature. Understand? That's how they cook the crab. So same way we have been cooked, and we think it's nice. It gets warmer and warmer. You follow? See? Which is not cool, but rather burns them with the fire of misery. So it's not just that we are burning in this hot water, but we are what misery? This misery is very increases like anything. Yeah? So for a person who is not aware, he becomes what? Oblivious. He doesn't know he's been burned. Like the crab is getting burned and cooked because he's enjoying the warmth. You understand? So, next verse.
Okay. What is the use of the yoga system? Philosophical speculation. mere renunciation of the word or Vedic studies. In fact, what is the use of any so-called auspicious process without Lord Krishna, who is the source of our very existence?
So with the help of the Lord, only you can escape this burning effect. That's why Nityananda Prabhu, his leg is as cooling as what? Millions and millions of. In other words, if you take shelter of his lotus feet, you get that counter to this burning effect. In other words, unless you take shelter of the Lord, you cannot escape this tormentation. One way or other, you will get burned. Okay. That's how the material world is designed. The material world is not designed for your happiness, actually. It is meant for your misery. Make you surrender to the Lord, who has this, what, antidote, you say that? The medicine for countering this burning effect. Okay, can you go back? So you see, Nityananda's feet is which are cooling like the shining of millions of moons. It can give, Juraya can give relief. So if you want to escape this miserable position, then the only relief is to take shelter of Lord Nityananda. Why Nityananda Prabhu? Why not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly? Why? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's feet is not cooling. Why? Because if you want to go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you must go through Nityananda. Understand? And if you do not want to do that, if you just want to go direct to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and not show any respect for Nityananda Prabhu, then actually you will not make it. You cannot make it. It's not possible. Okay? Can you read?
What will be the result of accepting the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda? He says, Heno Nitai Vinay Vai. Unless one takes shelter under the shade of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, Radha Krishna Paite Nai. It will be very difficult for him to approach Radha Krishna.
To this point, I just made. You cannot try to what? Cut, go to Krishna directly. That's not possible. In fact, Krishna says, 11:28.
Yeah.
Anyone who says my devotee, not my devotee. Sometimes we all think that I don't like this guru or business, I will go direct. I'll go what? Direct. Yeah? See what Krishna says. Can you chant?
Yeme Bhakta Jana Pada, Name Bhakta Jate Jana. Mat Bhaktanam Chaye Bhakta, Teme Bhakta Tama Matama. Lord Krishna told Arjuna, those who are my direct devotees are actually not my devotees, but those who are the devotees of my servant are actually my devotees.
See? So you have to go through the 7. Daso, Anudas, Das, Das, Padakamalayo, Das, Das, Anudas. So there's a whole idea. If Nityananda Prabhu is making that arrangement. So if you don't go through him, then going to Radha and Krishna is impossible. Is what? See, even going to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not different from Radha and Krishna. It's not even possible. Just like Raghunath Das Goswami. He wanted to go straight to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was trying. Every time he will run and his father will bring 10 men and capture him and bring him. He was trying so many times. He was not sleeping in the house. He was sleeping outside, in the Durga Mandir. His mother and father were talking. We have got him married to a most beautiful girl. He has riches, more richer than Indra. With all these facilities, still he is behaving like a madman. Why? Because his mind is going to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was trying to reach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu until he surrendered to Nityananda Prabhu and served him. That festival, what is that festival? Panihati festival. He surrendered to Nityananda Prabhu. Actually, Chida, yogurt, you know. So until he surrendered to Nityananda Prabhu and Nityananda Prabhu placed his feet on his head, then within the next few days, he managed to escape and join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the point. Without the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, it's very difficult to make any spirit, let alone to chant Hare Krishna or to get purified. Okay, next. So this is the festival. You can see the picture of him putting his feet there. You can see that. Can you just see here? This is when Nityananda Prabhu visited his village and Raghunath Das, he fell at his feet and Nityananda Prabhu put his feet on it. Okay? Sorry? Because I don't know how you're going to put the feet of Nityananda on your head, but at least you can touch his head. Okay, that.
The aim of this Krishna consciousness movement is to enable us to approach Radha Krishna and associate with the Supreme Lord in his sublime pleasure dance. Narottam Das Thakur advises that if one actually wants to enter into the dancing party of Radha Krishna, he must accept the shelter of lotus feet of Lord Nityananda.
See, that's why we chant Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Gaurava. Before we start chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. So we cannot try to chant Hare Krishna without the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and just 2 days ago when Advaita Acharya Prabhu, last week was it? And Gadadhar and Srivas. So this is the method, and that's why today is very auspicious day. And before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears, Nityananda Prabhu appears to make everything what? Prepare for his appearance. Next.
Then he says, say sambandha nahi. Sambandha means connection or contact. Anyone who has not contacted a relationship with Nityananda is understood to have spoiled his human birth. In another song also, Narottam Das Thakur says, Hari Hari Vifale Janma Govinayana. Anyone who does not approach Radha Krishna through a relationship with Nityananda has uselessly spoiled his life. Brutta means useless. Janma means life. Tar means his, and Sambandha means relationship. Anyone who does not make a relationship with Nityananda is simply spoiling the bone of his human form of life. Why is he spoiling it? Say Pashu, Guru, Durachar. She means that, Pashu means animal, and Durachar means misbehave or the most misbehaved. Without elevation to Krishna consciousness, through the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, life is simply spoiled in the animal propensities of sense gratification. Narottam Das says that ordinary animals can be tamed, but when a human being is animalistic, having only animal propensities, he is most horrible, for he cannot be tamed. Ordinary cats and dogs or even a tiger can be tamed, but when a human being goes out of his way and neglects to take to the human activity of Krishna consciousness, his higher intelligence will simply be misused for animal propensities, and it is very difficult to tame him. The enactment of state laws cannot make a thief an honest man because his heart is polluted. He cannot be tamed. Every man sees that a person who commits criminal offences is punished by the government. And also, in scriptural injunctions, punishment in hell is mentioned. But despite hearing from scripture and seeing the action of the state laws, the demonic cannot be tamed.
Is it? You cannot go to Radha and Krishna without surrendering to Nityananda. That's not possible. It's not possible. You can try. Right? Going to Radha and Krishna means what? To give up this animalistic consciousness. And animalistic consciousness will improve more and more if we try to enjoy our, can you go? 16. 16. So you see here, when you try to enjoy your senses,
Yes. Due to ignorance, the materialistic person does not know anything about his real self-interest, the auspicious path in life. He is simply bound to material enjoyment by lusty desires, and all his plans are made for this purpose. For temporary sense gratification, such a person creates a society of envy, and due to his mentality, he plunges into the ocean of suffering. Such a foolish person does not even know about this.
so if you try to enjoy your senses, you don't even know who you are. You don't know, of course, you cannot know God for sure. Eh? And such a life is like breathing like the bellows and living like uselessly like trees. See? Can you go 11, 21, 21. Muchitasya, breathing like. Can you go?
Of him who has become dull man. O saintly Uddhava, a person bereft of real intelligence is considered to have lost everything. Deviated from the actual purpose of his life, he becomes dull, just like a dead person.
Is that next one?
Because of absorption in sense gratification, one cannot recognize himself or others. Living uselessly in ignorance like a tree, one is merely breathing just like a bellows.
Is that? So this is the result of trying to enjoy the senses. You understand? And if you live like this, what is the end result? What will be the end result? You will become another tree or animal. Yeah? If you live like an animal, what is your next birth? What? Animal. You understand? So try to understand that there is a price to pay for being ignorant. You cannot say ignorance is bliss. It doesn't work. You understand? The human life is very rare. And human life is so rare, it is meant for only one purpose. One purpose? Huh? I think this verse, 11, 5, 16. See? Here. What is this thing you see here?
Those who have not achieved knowledge of the absolute truth, yet who are still beyond the darkness of complete ignorance, generally follow the threefold path of pious material life, namely religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification. Not having time to reflect on any higher purpose, they become the killers of their own soul.
So they are killers of their own soul. And where these killers will go? Mantra 3. Where will they go? It is not fun. You're going where? You see here?
Asurya namate loka.
Read the.
The killer of the soul, whoever he may be, must enter into the planets known as the worlds of the faithless, full of darkness and ignorance.
So do you want to go there? Fun, Prabhu. Change of my life. Let me check it out. Yeah? Can you imagine how you're going to suffer? It's not. So therefore, Nityananda Prabhu has come down for this purpose, to save us. A clear example was, who was that who he saved? You all know? Who was the one?
Jagai.
Who?
Jagai Madai.
Jagai and Madai. They were woman hunters. They were what? meat eaters, they were drunkards, they did everything that you shouldn't do, they were doing. Like now today, this is the epic example of where? Prabhu? The modern person. Right? So you see, he came and he delivered them. Ah. So much so they broke his head, no? Correct? Blood was coming. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to kill them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to save everybody, but he was so upset. He came to kill these two persons. But Nityananda Prabhu pleaded, please, my dear Lord, they are classic examples of the fallen soul. And you have descended to deliver this fallen soul. You please save them. All right, my condition is they should not do these things again. And both of them, terrified, they fell at his feet and they were delivered. You know, it's not that they were delivered, it is the story goes on, you know. They were so upset that what they did was so bad. They were actually, you know, what they were doing? Cleaning the, what was that place? A very dirty place, you know. They were actually cleaning that place every day. They were repenting like this. Oh, you see how their consciousness. Next.
What are they doing? Nitai na bulilo mukhe. Since they do not know who Nityananda is, they never say the names of the Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. Majilo samsara sukhe. Majilo means becomes absurd. They become absurd in so-called material enjoyment. They don't care who Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda are, and therefore they go deep down into material existence. Vidya Pule ki Kuribe Tar. If one has no connection with Nityananda and if he does not come to Krishna consciousness, his Vidya or his so-called academic education and Kula, but in a high family or great nation, will not protect him. Regardless of whether one is born in a very big family or nation or has a very advanced academic education, at the time of death, nature's law will act, his work will be finished, and he will get another body according to that one.
Bhakti Hina.
Bhagavad Bhakti Hina.
Bhagavad Bhakti Hina. Listen, you know, Jati.
Jati Shastram Japastapa.
Chant this.
Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastram Japastapa Apranasya Dehasya Mantanam Lokanandam. For a person devoid of devotional service, birth in a great family or nation, knowledge of the revealed scriptures, performance of austerities and penance, and chanting of Vedic mantras are all like ornaments on a dead body. Such ornaments simply serve the concocted pleasures of the general populace.
So you may have all these things, but if you have no devotion for the Lord, then they are all like decorations on a
Dead body.
So without the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, whatever you have got, IIT, what? What were you got? Orissa got IIT.
Everywhere.
Have
Now every state.
Orissa what? Kathak. Bhubaneswar.
Bhubaneswar.
Oh. So all these things are simply what? Decorations on the dead. Because the goal of life is to some or other get out of this mess. Yes? And if this human body, the human body is the only vehicle that can carry you out of this entanglement. And if you don't use this vehicle for this purpose and you're using for something else, that means you are the greatest fool. And all your achievements, so-called achievement, material achievement, is nothing but decoration on the dead body. What's the use of that? Wasting time. See?
Why are these human animals acting in this way? Ahankare matta hui nitai pada pasharya. They have become maddened by false concept of bodily life, and thus they have forgotten their eternal relationship with Nityananda. Asatyere satyakori mani. Such forgetful persons accept the illusory energy as factual. Asatyare refers to that which is not a fact, or in other words, Maya. Maya means that which has no existence but is a temporary illusion only. Persons who have no contact with Nityananda accept this illusory body as fact.
That's what everyone thinks, that this so-called body is so important, right? And Prabhupada gives the example of that cage and the bird. No? He's cleaning the cage, but he's not feeding the bird. So that's what we are doing. We are all taking care of the body, but not the soul inside. Okay? Because we are lost, we don't know. What's the use of taking care of the cage? Any useful? No? Simply wasting time. So therefore, if you do not pay attention to taking care of the soul, then you are just living like a dead body, a useless life. So try to understand how you can come out and come to this consciousness. Unless you take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, you cannot be relieved of this material so-called entanglement. It's not possible. Right? This is the story of that bird and the cage. Right? Next.
Narottam Das Thakur then says, Nitaye Purana Have, Radhe Krishna Bhave. If you actually want to approach the association of Radha Krishna, you must achieve the mercy of Lord Nityananda first. When he is merciful towards you, then you will be able to approach Radha Krishna. Dharo Nitai Charane Dukhani. Narottama Dasa advises that one firmly catches the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Then again, he says, Nitai Charana Satyam. One should not misunderstand and think that as he has caught hold of Maya. Similarly, the lotus feet of Nityananda may also be something like that Maya or illusion. Therefore, Narottam Das confirms Nitai Charana Satyam. The lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are not illusion, they are a fact. Tahara Sevaka Nitya. And one who engages in the transcendental loving service of Nityananda is also transcendental. If one engages in the transcendental loving service of Nityananda in Krishna consciousness, he immediately achieves his transcendental position on the spiritual platform, which is eternal and blissful. Therefore, he advises Nitai Pada Sada Kore Asha.
So again here, Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet is factual. It is not illusory. Now we are trying to put so much faith in this illusory world. We think this is very real. All our material so-called assets, this, that, everything we think is going to be permanent. But it's all going to be washed out in time and destroyer of the, everything will be taken away. Your bank balance, your what, house, family, everything will be, I think is that next verse of that. Sutra Vidini Rajendra. What? See that. So this you can see that we are relying all our faith. No, next one. Next one. Next one. Yeah. See here. Can you go to the Dehapatya Kalatradishu. So we are putting all our faith, attachment to this. Atma, we think these are our soldiers that will protect us. Atma, Saneswa, Asat. These are all Asat. I think in your language there's word, right? Sat and Asat. What is Asat? Asat is all useless. Asat is all useless. Tesham Pramato. This word Pramato means what? Crazy. Mad. Nidanam. Nidanam means everything will go away. Finish. Collapse. Pashyanapi napa. Although seeing, he will not. He cannot see. He sees his father dying, his mother dying, everybody dying. He is thinking what? No, I'm going to. Cannot see. Read the translation.
Yes. Persons devoid of Atma Tattva do not inquire into the problems of life, being too attached to the fallible soldiers like the body, children, and wife. Although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see their inevitable destruction.
They cannot see. Why they cannot see? Because they are not taking shelter of Nityananda. Yeah. It is not that you can see with your expert intelligence and knowledge and everything. No. You understand? You cannot see with this blunt material eye. What is that word? Blunt material eyes? Ataha? Ataha Sri Krishna Namari Nagriyam Indrayed. You cannot see with your blunt material senses. It's not possible. Can you read the?
अतः श्री कृष्ण नामादि नभवेत् ग्राह्यम् इन्द्रिये सेवोन्मुखे हि जिह्वादौ स्वयमेव स्फुरत्यतः. Therefore, material senses cannot appreciate Krishna's holy name, form, qualities, and pastimes. When a conditioned soul is awakened to Krishna consciousness and renders service by using his tongue to chant the Lord's holy name and taste the remnants of the Lord's food, the tongue is purified, and one gradually comes to understand who Krishna really is.
So you have to take shelter of the Lord's, especially Nityananda Prabhu's name. Whose name?
Yeah.
Then yes, whatever all this delusion, not only taking a shelter of his name, taking shelter of his lotus feet, which is real. And the real Krishna is what? Surya Sama. Maya, Andankara, darkness. Wherever there is Krishna, there is no question of. So in other words, the reality is the Lord's holy name, the Lord's lotus feet. It is real. It is not that you think it is imaginary. It is what speculative. No, this is not a fact. You know, Krishna and Krishna's form are non-different. His name, non-different. Nama Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. You know, you can chant this material thing, water, water, water. Can you drink water? No. But if you chant Krishna's name, you will be able to relish his presence. See?
Narottama Boroduki. Narottam Das Thakura, the Acharya, is taking the position that he is very unhappy. Actually, he is representing ourselves. He says, "My dear Lord, I am very unhappy. Nitai More Korosuki. Therefore, I am praying to Lord Nityananda to make me happy. Rako Ranga Chirane Pa. Please keep me in a corner of your lotus feet."
So this is the whole idea. We are completely miserable. Yeah? No matter how we try, we cannot become happy in this material. Because this place is what? Dukhalayam. You're trying to hit your head against the wall, trying to become happy. It's not going to work. But if you take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, who is very happy, then by his mercy, you will also become. That's why Narottam Das Thakur is praying, please keep me at the corner of your. That is the whole idea of today, celebrating the appearance of Lord. So that when we please him by offering some flowers, some prasad, something, and chanting his name, then at least he will be able to give us it. Because more merciful than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Nityananda Prabhu. We saw his mercy, how he applied with Jagai and Madai. I don't know about you, I'm terribly more worse than Jagai and Madai. Right? To get to the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we need to take shelter of Nityananda. So please try to become aware of today's special day and try to chant Nityananda Prabhu's name and try to invoke his mercy so that we will be successful. So anybody have any questions on this appearance of Nityananda Prabhu? And the Lord is very, very kind. It's not that he's hard-hearted. Can you go? Until 1108. Can you just read that?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Purushottama, the greatest of all persons, has a pure mind. He is so gentle that even if his servant is implicated in a great offense, he does not take it very seriously. Indeed, if his servant renders some small service, the Lord accepts it as being very great. Even if an envious person blasphemes the Lord never manifests anger against him. Such are his great qualities.
Say Nityananda Prabhu broke, what's his name? Jagai and Madai, one of them, broke the head of Nityananda Prabhu. He was not angry, is he? Such are his great qualities. And if you do a little service, a little, he takes it as very. These are the qualities. So please try to take shelter of the Lord today. Special chant. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
All right, so we stop here. Can you, where are we going? Up, fifth floor? Fifth floor. So we are inviting you to go to